And we are back, and we just finished 1995's classic, Clueless, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 37 minutes. This comes to us from writer-director Amy Heckerling, loosely based off Austen's Emma. According to IMDb, rich, shallow, and socially successful Cher is at the top of her Beverly Hills high school pecking scale. Seeing herself as a matchmaker, Cher first coaxes two teachers into dating each other.
Is that it?
Yeah. Well, there's another one. Cher, a high school student in Beverly Hills, must survive the ups and downs of adolescent life. Her external demeanor at first seems superficial, but rather it hides her wit, charm, and intelligence, which help her to deal with relationships, friends, family, school, and the all-important teenage social life. I think that's a better
That's way better. That first summary was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sort of just ended.
Yeah. This is not a first for any of us here at the table, but I think this is the first time we're doing this for the pod, which is kind of interesting because I'm surprised we haven't seen this before for the pod. But we're here now, going to discuss it. We're probably going to pair it with Emma. I don't know which version yet, but we'll figure that out. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Can I start with you? What did you think of the film?
I mean, it's a cute film.
Yeah. Does it still hold up? This is from 1995.
There's some dated references in there that...
This movie is 30 years old.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Time.
Ugh.
Time marches on. Yeah, like I said, there are some minor dated references. Paul Rudd looks younger.
Yes, he has aged.
He has aged. If you watch it, you will see that Paul Rudd has indeed aged since then.
Not by much.
Not
but
by
still.
much, but yeah, still. He's still got a little bit of baby fat on his head there.
On this one, yeah.
But overall, yeah, it's a cute film. I still get a little bit icked out by the whole they grew up and knew each other as...
Josh and Cher hooking up.
Yeah. It's
But
just there's just something.
They didn't grow up though together. That's not.
There
what
was a point in their life that was a brief point, but there was still a point in their life where they were basically siblings. And once you're in that role, it's not like as though we used to be coworkers. It's not that. It's like you used to be siblings, and you may not consider yourselves siblings anymore, but you were.
Is there some sort of etiquette that says that you can't date your ex-sibling? I don't know. Is there?
Do you hear yourself?
Yeah, it's not incest.
Listen,
it's incest
Paul Rudd to be
adjacent,
happy.
and it's just.
It's not incest though.
It's not. It's incest adjacent.
Okay.
And also, there's the whole thing like he's in college, she's still in high school, and. They never outright say what grade she's in, but I'm using some detective work to surmise. When the story takes place, she's a sophomore.
She's a junior.
Like I said, she was born in April. They were in the third marking period when she got her bad grades, and she was 16.
She's a junior.
So
Third marking period does close in April.
So 16. Yeah, she turned 16.
Grades
the third
closed.
mark. Yeah.
She was
Before grades came
already
out.
16. She didn't have a party or anything, so she was already 16. She might have been closer to 17.
That doesn't make any sense because shouldn't she have had her 17th birthday?
But didn't she get the
She
Jeep?
didn't
Didn't she get the Jeep for her birthday?
She did. So she
So she
already
just
passed,
got the
She
Jeep.
was
so she
getting
already
her
passed her
permit.
birthday.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
she's
she
probably
turned.
closer
She
to
turned
17 than
16.
is
She
16.
turned 16 in her sophomore year.
There are 16-year-old sophomores.
I guess. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. I think I was a junior in 16.
And he's in
16.
college.
So were
How
you.
many? How
Yeah.
far along? Did they ever say what he was in college? Was he a freshman or a sophomore or what?
I don't remember. I don't think they ever.
Either way, it's still kind of.
They never mentioned specifically what grades they're in, but she's in high school and he is in college, which means that he has to be around 18 while she is 16.
But to her
18
point.
at least.
But to her point, high school boys they don't know what they're doing. So you're gonna level up.
Okay.
Or you're gonna want to
All right,
level
well,
up.
all right. Now we're getting into a whole other area.
No,
Well,
that
this
was
was,
weird.
but this was her preference, right? Even in the
It
story, she
was.
mentions that she wouldn't
She
want
would
to be
never
involved.
date a high school boy.
Right.
Exactly, but no.
All I know is when I was in college, if we ever knew of a person who brought around a high school person, we would be like, "That's jailbait. Get out of here." you can't hang out with us while you're dating this girl.
Yeah, that's
jail
weird.
bait.
Imagine being in college and wanting to date high schoolers.
Listen, this is 1995. It
the
was
only
a different
exception
time.
I could think of is, let's say you go with like a sophomore when you're a junior in high school, both in high school, and then you graduate, go to college, you're a freshman while they're a senior. That's the only exception I could think of.
I may have dated older people in high school. I didn't find it problematic.
It's not a problem for the jailbait. It's a problem for the person dating the jailbait. They're the ones who are supposed to know better.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
This is kind of a weird conversation that I wish we didn't have, and I wish it wouldn't go on YouTube.
It just goes hand in hand with the movie world. But otherwise, if we could just ignore that whole fact, if we were back in Austen times where everybody was married when they were 13 and having children by 14, then I could see, all right, that their status levels were not a big deal. Still, it's the whole incest adjacent part is weird. But I guess you got to ignore that for this sort of movie. Plus, this is a comedy. This is a goofy comedy.
Or like a coming of age rom-com sort of
It's
situation.
true, but it's also not very realistic. Even in the 90s, people were not like this. These people were exaggerated stereotypes of they're Californian.
Is this what Euphoria is now?
Yes. Just very clueless under a mountain of cocaine and ketamine and fentanyl. And there you got Euphoria.
All right. Olive G, you've seen this film before. Did you like it?
It was okay.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite character?
I'd probably say like Cher.
Cher.
Or like her friend Dionne, was it?
Dionne, right. They had a good fashion sense, which I'm sure you could relate to. No?
It was okay.
I mean, for
What?
1995.
They dressed cute.
Yeah, they dressed super cute.
What didn't you like about their outfits? I mean, Dionne had that weird hat at the beginning,
Yeah.
but she was
Hats
like
are cool.
experimental. She was wearing
I think Olive likes things a little bit more quirky.
More quirky. All right, fair enough.
Buddy. You did not have to say that. I like...
You
I
you definitely have your own style.
You have an
sense.
eccentric style.
Yeah.
Even though like some of the outfits were cute, I was like, some of them just like didn't like when she goes to get like her driver's license. I didn't like her outfit then.
I didn't like that. I didn't care for that outfit either.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that one.
I liked the outfit that she wore, the red and the red coat that she wore to the party in the valley. I thought that was
I
cute.
feel like I don't know, like I don't feel like the red matched.
Really? All right.
No, the coat was like a deeper red. The dress that she was wearing was like a bright red. And I feel like those colors didn't clash well, even though they were red.
All right. Fair enough. What did you think about the Elton character, played by Jeremy Sisto? What did you think about that guy?
Who the hell is Elton?
He was the jerk.
He was the jerk that
I
Cher
didn't
wanted
like
to
him.
get with time.
He's like he gives off like sex offender vibes.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird when he was driving her, and he seemed very focused on trying to conquer Cher like a mountain.
Kind of. He was very like, this makes sense. And it wasn't even like this makes sense in the fact that, we're such good friends, we're so compatible. It was this makes sense because you're rich and I'm rich and that other girl, she's poor and whatever. He was a
not on my
real
level.
sort of elitist douchebag.
Yeah, I could see it. And he felt very entitled, especially that scene in the car where he's just like attacking her, and she's just like...
Yeah, she said no like
More than
7 or
once.
8 times,
Yeah.
and every time it was just sort of like, but, and then lunge forward. That was
Right.
his MO.
Olive G, what did you think of Dionne and
Murray.
Thank you, Jay.
Murray was the guy that she just like, I'm calling your mother.
Yes. And he's the one that told Cher the truth about Christian.
I mean, I like Dionne. Although I would agree with Cher, she could do so much better than that guy. But I guess the heart wants what the heart wants. So
There you go.
whatever.
There you go. And in latter years, the actress that plays Dionne has been a freak show.
Yeah, I heard that she's weird. I don't know what she's up to though.
But like Murray, yeah, I didn't really like him because of the fact that like he wasn't really doing anything to like get girls off him when like they were.
Isn't it literally like implied that he cheated on her? She has that braid in her hand close to the beginning of the film. Like, why'd I find this in your car?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And then when they're in the party at the Valley, he's sort of dancing with this other woman who I'm like, you just came in with your girlfriend. How did you lose her so quickly?
Yeah, it was weird.
Well, I mean, teenage boys are like that. They're gross.
Some of them, yeah.
That's
not
sorry.
An excuse.
Remember, not all.
Not all. We shouldn't be making blanket statements. Absolutely.
My dad'll come down on you.
Exactly. Gee, what did you think of the Ty character?
She was kind of annoying.
Was
she had her moments. Yeah.
More annoying than okay, or?
More annoying than okay.
Did you feel bad for her at all?
Not really.
No?
No.
I mean, she seemed like a fish out of water. She definitely was out of her element in this particular high school.
She would have been such an outcast if Cher and Dionne, mainly Cher, didn't take her in.
Right. What did you think of the fashions of the 1990s?
They were nice. I thought that people dressed kind of cute. I mean, I could see certain
girls mostly. I don't know what the boys were doing.
I mean, and there's that scene where they're all like sagging or whatever with the baggy jeans, and I could see some similarities to today. A lot of people wear baggy jeans. And
yeah, my pants
oversized
fall off
shirt.
when I wear. I mean, not my pants, but my pajamas.
Right.
I don't see your underwear, do I? I don't remember.
Yeah, but like if I don't wear like a long shirt, then you can see my underwear.
But that was like the point, wasn't it? To have your underwear visible. Like,
Yeah.
That's still
they
the point.
they even like made specific pants where the top part of the pants was designed to look like underwear, and then the pants were sewn onto the hem of the underwear.
Yeah.
What was the point of that again?
I don't know.
I guess it was just a way to like put your balls.
Okay.
That's what they were doing.
Could be, or just you knew it made old people angry. remember they were going nuts about that, like, well, we're gonna ban them in high schools, or this is an outrage. And it was just like,
who cares?
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a fad.
You're just gonna make them want to do it more.
Even more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, do kids really still do that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Really? It was a while ago, but I was walking with two of my friends down the hallway, and there was this guy, and he just had his whole butt out. Like, it wasn't bare, obviously. He had white underwear, and the white underwear clearly went through the wash plenty of times, so it wasn't really white anymore. And yeah, the pants were under his butt cheeks.
My God.
I think someone
What
took
are
a
boys
picture
doing?
of him.
What are boys doing?
I don't know. Yeah, and you'd figure if you were gonna do that and you knew that was gonna happen, you would at least get underwear that was white.
Clean.
Not just
or not white.
not
like,
yellowed.
Why would you want to wear white
black
underwear?
Yeah, wear black
or
underwear.
you're supposed to do it with boxers.
Is that what this boy was wearing, or is he wearing tighty whities?
Tighty whities.
Oof.
All right,
What?
he's doing it wrong.
Yeah, he's doing it wrong. It's supposed to be boxers.
He clearly wants to be bullied.
He clearly wants to be bullied.
Sure. Anyway, it's not just guys. There's this girl that I've seen around, and she sags.
Really? Girls
yeah,
are
she's
in all
really
this too?
annoying. I hate her, and she smells bad. And one time I was walking into the school, and she was with her friends, and she was running across the street. And in the middle of the street... she was like, there's cars waiting to go. She just pulled her pants down, like, not under her butt, like to the ankles, and then pulled them back up and kept running across the street.
She just yanks them down to her ankles and then back up.
Yeah.
For what purpose?
She, like, mooned her friends. She wasn't, like, bare butt, but, yeah, she pulled her pants down in front of her friends.
I hope you're not doing any of this.
I would never do something like that. That's stupid.
Thank you.
I mean, some of those fashions were not realistic at all.
Mm-hmm.
Kids in the 90s were not dressing like
I don't know.
Cher.
I feel like, okay, maybe not Cher, but like Travis.
The non-rich kids,
Yeah.
I would say, were more true to life. Yeah.
Like even Ty, when she was dressed normally.
Even Ty when she was dressed normally.
And even when she sort of like started glamming up when she was hanging out with Cher, like some of her stuff seemed within the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So this is loosely based on Austen's Emma, which again is about Emma Woodhouse, who decides that she knows best and she's going to play matchmaker, and she does to some extent. And then she sort of gets involved in the lives of these other people. And much like in Clueless, you have the Ty character who sort of likes Travis, but she then feels, I don't want to say bullied, but sort of pressured or persuaded, another Austen, persuaded to not continue or seek out this relationship with the Travis character because her friend Cher and her friend Dionne, who she's come to admire and respect, have told her that that's sort of below her pay grade. And it's kind of unfortunate because that very much feels like the high school experience, where you do things that you don't normally feel only to be accepted into this tribe of people. Olive G, I'm going to ask you, if you had a friend that told you not to date someone and maybe you really like this person, would you heed their advice?
Like, it depends.
Okay.
What is my relationship status with this friend?
Let's say you're really good friends, but you also like this other person, and it seems like this other person also may like you, but your friend is telling you, no, that person is way below your pay grade. Would you listen to the friend, or would you want to date someone that you potentially could have a relationship with?
Has the person of interest had a lot of past relationships?
I don't know. Does that matter?
Yes, it matters, Mother. The
Really?
details matter.
No, just that they're exactly what you've always wanted.
Yes. Let's say that.
There's a definite attraction for this person.
They like you. You like them.
You don't see nothing wrong with them,
Yeah.
but you have this friend who's just like, nah, you could do better than that.
But, like, if it's everything I've ever dreamed of, then, like, I'm going to shoot my shot because it's just, like...
So you would follow your heart.
Yeah, because, like, if they're everything I've ever wanted and more, then I'm obviously going to shoot my shot. No questions asked. Like, I don't care how long I've known that person. You don't get to decide who I end up with.
Okay, that's fair. And I'm glad that you said that. What about you, G? If you were in Ty's position, would you let your friends influence you or persuade you to not become part of a relationship because of what they think?
No. In this case. But let's say my friend is like, oh, yeah, I heard they're really weird. I wouldn't go for it. But if it was
Well,
in the...
define weird.
Like, Olivia brought up having a bunch of past relationships, which I don't really care about. But let's say all those relationships ended, like, horribly, and this person of interest goes around telling people that all of their exes were the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe no, I wouldn't.
You'd be cautious about something like
I
that.
would, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good point.
And like if I heard rumors about them doing bizarre things or bad things, then obviously not. I like from one of my friends, especially because I trust my friends.
But what about in this case? Travis seemed like a nice kid.
Yeah,
he
in
just
this
was like
case,
a
no.
stoner boy that
I
liked
would
to...
not care.
Okay.
I've liked plenty of people that my friends are like, oh, he's ugly, or I can't believe you like him. He's no good qualities.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you? Would you let your friends dictate who you see?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the times my friends, they had no idea I was ever interested in anybody.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What did we think of the romance between the two teachers? That was sort of sweet.
It was nice. It was basically just like a building block for the story. It was that sort of like initial success that she feels that it spurns her
To wanna
on to
do
do
more.
more.
Yeah.
So it was a necessary plot point.
Yeah. But it all worked out at the end.
It all worked out,
'Cause the
and
teachers get
you got
married.
to see Wally show up looking weird as
I
always.
love Wallace Shawn.
Yeah, little
Inconceivable.
happy little turtle man.
Anybody want to add anything else before we get numbers? Anybody?
Not really.
Bueller. I still feel like, I don't know why this feels like an 80s film, but it's not. It's 95. There's sort of like this innocence to it, maybe. That's why. Because I feel like even when you look at other coming of age movies, right, that come after, there's something more, I wouldn't say smarter, but just more put together. And I think that as we progress, I feel like these younger generations of children or young adults are coming into the world with eyes definitely wide open. They have access to information like no other generation has. So I feel like they're coming at growing up, being in relationships, having friendships, all those things. They're coming at it from a different lens, right?
Yeah.
I think that's fair. So it's definitely different. And 1995 was a different era. This is now 30 years past. We were a different country. We were a different sort of people. We weren't inundated with social media. People were actually communicating with each other.
Yeah.
So it's a different world. I'm going to go around the table and get numbers. Olive G, can I start with you? 1 to 10.
Probably give this like an 8.
An 8. You found this entertaining, right?
Yeah.
G, 1 to 10.
Maybe a 7.
A 7?
I also find it entertaining.
It's cute, right?
That's cute. Maybe 7.5.
7.5.
I usually don't give half ratings.
Again, this is loosely based on an Austen novel. Did Amy Heckerling, the writer-director, do a good job of making this a contemporary story, in your opinion?
I think so, for at least that time.
Yeah.
They probably could have made him like no, because that would have gone against Cher's beliefs of not dating high school boys. They could have made her a senior, like 17, and him a freshman in college.
All right, and maybe made him like the neighbor instead of
he could have been like a
step-sibling.
family friend's kid.
right.
Like maybe like they could have still known each other when they were younger, but they wouldn't have been introduced by their parents getting married and then being labeled as step siblings.
Okay, fair enough. I'll allow it. I think another movie that I think I made you watch to the point where you got sick was 13 Going on 30. Those two characters are neighbors.
That's
Yeah.
a great film.
That is a great film.
You did make me watch it
Ad
ad
nauseam.
nauseum, but I genuinely like that movie.
That's also a very
good
cute
one,
film.
yeah.
Same question, 1 to 10. What would you give this film? You've seen this before. Does it still hold up?
Yeah, it's a fun little movie.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 7. There's nothing really amazing about it, but it's solid. It's aged well. Like I said, there's a couple of dated references in there. Like I said, it's not the most realistic depiction of the time because you're dealing with some pretty heavy stereotypes as far as the type of people you'd run into in high school.
Mhm.
There were the snobbish kids and then the stoner kids and
The jocks
and whatnot,
and
the jocks and whatnot.
popular kids.
And this one, they were kind of amped up.
Mhm.
But overall, yeah, it's not irritating. And the story still holds up. What's her name? Alicia Silverstone is excellent,
Is excellent.
in her role. It's always nice to see Dan Hedaya.
Dan Hedaya. He was so great.
Yeah. Paul Rudd, like I said.
Cher, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
A dress, Daddy. Says who? Calvin Klein.
Paul Rudd's good. All the characters are good.
Well, Paul Rudd was good until he starts macking on Cher, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're kind of sort of, it's like, oh, we're realizing this together. So nobody's really at fault. There was no grooming going on here.
What did you think of Brittany Murphy as Ty?
She was good. You know, it's always a little sad to see Brittany Murphy because she died so young.
I agreed. I feel like I would have liked to have seen the progression of her career. I think she made some interesting choices. Some of them were winners, some of them weren't, but I think she was very much a very versatile actress, and she
Yeah.
was always interesting to watch in these performances. I think
Yeah.
that she definitely was one of the stronger young actresses of her generation, and unfortunately passed away too young.
Yeah, I think if she wasn't like a headliner, she would have been an excellent character actress.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think to an extent she was. I mean, she's Luann in
Yeah.
King of the Hill.
That's her.
That's her.
Yeah.
That's Brittany Murphy. I've seen this many times. This is probably one of my favorite, not my favorite, but one of my favorite Austen adaptations for like a more present day audience. I think it really, to your point, I think that there is some things that are kind of dated, some things that are maybe not believable in this day and age. It's kind of interesting to see the world before we were inundated with cell phones and social media and how young people interacted and stuff. And I sort of miss that because that was my experience too, how these kids grew up calling each other on the phone, making plans to go be at a party and stuff like that. And it wasn't just losing time on a device. So that part of it really spoke to me. And I sort of missed that. I missed the idea of community, of finding your tribe. And
you'd go out and you'd have adventures.
Exactly. And I think that that's another thing that really serves young people to make mistakes.
Yeah, you learn a lot
just
from your mistakes.
Just learn and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and continue. I think nothing's perfect. And these memories that you have as a high schooler, or these experiences that you have as a high schooler, definitely pave the way into your adulthood and offer some nice little memories when you become older like me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this film an 8. I think from where it starts to where it ends, it's sweet, it's well done. It's a really clever interpretation of Austen's Emma for a modern audience, and I think it still holds up. I mean, again, to your point, I think some of it is a little bit dated, but not enough to take away from the overall storytelling experience. So yeah. So what did you say? 8? 7? 7, 8. 2 8s, 2 7s. Yeah, absolutely. Go check it out. We saw this on Lovely DVD. So this is, though, I think I don't know, it's probably on some streamer.
Probably
or to
rent on Prime.
On Prime. There you go. But we whipped out the old DVD. We haven't done that in a while. We should probably go into the library and do more of that stuff. All right. So with that, we're going to wrap it up and follow, like, and subscribe if you can. And let us know in the comments what you thought of Clueless. Does it hold up? Does it not? What are your favorite Austen adaptations? Keep the conversation going. Again, Clueless from 1995. With that, we will wrap it up and bid you all a
good night.
Good night.
Good night.